You're such an asshole.
Good morning, children. It's the old Capmeister here. We're going to start early in the morning because Cappy has to drive out to Morris, Minnesota, then Henning, Minnesota, visit some old stomping grounds, old haunts, because Cappy's going to leave Minnesota and will probably never come back. So I have to visit those places. Where I used to visit when I visited those back in the Carter days. That's how long ago it was. And we're not here for that. We are here because I guess we could call him a patron saint. Dre, my God, as a patron saint, a saint and those two words together. He wanted me to do a Clary original. And so now we're here to do that. And the reason I want to bring up this topic is someone sent me an email and there was an article. And it was one of the many articles I found out there on the interwebs of my husband won't sleep with me anymore. What do I do? And then a sexpert. Oh, that was so clever. See what they did there? A sexpert. Oh my goodness, Tina. Wrote in, and it was exactly as I predicted. And this was why the guy, but I couldn't find the email. I couldn't find the article because this was written by an actual doctor. Now, probably psychologist, which again is not a real doctor. Psychiatrist is. That's a medical doctor. Psychologists are not real doctors. And so in my search to find this article to address this concern that apparently is somewhat of a concern out there on the internet, because when you search it, women are like in sexless marriages and husbands don't want to sleep with them anymore. Wanted to address it. But when you look through all the articles, the key thing I was looking for was missing. And it's called the truth. And so I'm going to try to not get so angry. I want this to remain. It's not even the monetizable. I want this to get out there. And I will be perfectly honest. I'll disclose in full disclosure. Ladies, this video is not for you. All right. It's going to answer your question, but it's not for you because you don't want to hear the truth. You want to be lied to. This is to highlight, to use a sad topic where your spouse no longer is sexually attracted to you, doesn't want to have sex with you anymore, as an example to show to what lengths society will go to, women included, to lie to themselves and how much more they prefer to live in a delusional world rather than in the real one and to make actual tangible progress in life. And I think this is a very key and important lesson to learn, to know about human nature, human society, in this particular case, how it applies to women, but men want to be lied to too. Because if you're a young man, you're pursuing women, you need to understand this about female psychology, is they want to be lied to. Above all else, they don't want the truth. They don't want a solution. They want to feel good and to be lied to. And I would also say in this particular case, be absolved of any responsibility. They want the peace and serenity and psychological calm that comes with it's not their fault. They've done everything. It's out of their hands and they have no responsibility after that. Now we're going to use this as an example. So the article, which I cannot find, is moot now. So I searched, why won't my husband sleep with me anymore? And there's no limit to the number of articles. But let's just go through a couple here. Okay, now this is your tango. Oh my goodness, 6 weird reasons. They're just weird. They're weird. I have no idea what's going on. It's just weird, man. Who knows why? They're such complicated creatures. Long hair backs up into this spank. I don't know what they want. 6 weird reasons why your man is refusing sex. How dare you? And how to fix it. And it's from Christina Mercant. Look up this nobody. Author, how about your Twitter? What we got here, boys and girls? Oh, she's got 1,400 followers on Twitter. I write about economics, and I got 10 times that amount. You write about sex, which should be an easier sell, and she's a prettier girl than me. You should have way more. But it's Sexpert. Here we go. Are you in a committed relationship with a man who refuses to have sex with you? Do you constantly ask yourself, my husband won't sleep with me. Is there something wrong with me? No. If so, you are not alone. Many women are sexually unfulfilled in their partnerships. Take comfort in knowing this and in knowing that in most cases, his lack of desire has nothing to do with him thinking you are not beautiful or good enough shape to want to enjoy your body. It's definitely not what you're thinking. No, it's what I'm going to tell you what it is so you feel better. There are a few different reasons some men refuse sex with their wives or girlfriends. One, they are depressed and their libido suffers as a result. Some of these are true. Some of them are true. You know, like you keep voting Democrat all the time, and then the hordes come and destroy the house next to theirs and burn down the street. They might be a little stressed nowadays. Maybe. They're experiencing low hormone levels. That can happen too with age. They're having serious fears and insecurities surrounding sex. They are gay and hiding in a straight relationship. Yes, there's that of the left field. Okay. And that one keeps coming up. I'm sure in some cases that might have happened. I've been faking it the entire time. But that's the exception, not the rule. They're getting their sexual needs met through other avenues that do not require as much or an emotional intimacy like sex-based affairs, porn, or prostitution. That could happen. They're not emotionally connected to you and don't feel desirous of you as a result. This could mean they are not currently emotionally connected with another woman and sleeping with her as a result. That's it. Those are the 6 reasons. Do you guys see anything missing, huh? Here's Psychology Today, which is pop psychology. This is written by Lori W. Watson, LMFT, LPC. What in God's name is that? She's a certified sex therapist and host of the popular podcast Foreplay Radio Sex. Is this popular? Is it really popular? How many episodes we got? Is it regular? Oh, she does? Okay, 250. All right, good. This isn't just some, fly on the chart. I want to know what the LMFT is. It doesn't say. Okay, so she's serious. This is a certified professional. 6 possible reasons men may decline sex. Now we could go 1, low testosterone. 2, no attraction. Hang on. Is it in here in the details? Sometimes a man does lose attraction for his partner and no longer wants to have sex with her. This is true, but it's important to remember that in a long-term relationship, attraction is a complex emotion. Long hair backs up in a spank. It's a mix of visual pleasure and sexual chemistry, as well as feelings about the relationship, like how well you get along, being able to relax together, and being respected. There's a small little bush in a big desert. There's nothing else in this. It's 100 miles wide, but 100 miles deep, this big desert. And there's a bush in the center. And man, do they take a long way beating around this bush. They will take a long way. Loss of attraction can also be a psychological defense. Oh. If a man is feeling suffocated in the relationship, he may experience a loss of attraction as a way to create some space and avoid the closeness that sex brings. Narcissism could be a factor. It's his fault. It may cause a man to deeply feel disappointed in the normal, inevitable physical changes that his part. Normal and did we see the bush off in the horizon, which are threatening his own sense of morality, performance anxiety, self-sufficiency, boredom, affairs. We almost got close there. See, 2, you said no attract, but you didn't say, just say you're fat. The normal, did I tell you they abdicate responsibility? The normal decline in attract, just say you got fat. This should be on every list because whereas every great once in a while, a man might actually come out as gay. He may have suffered that unfortunate lie to himself, but ladies, you're lying to yourselves too, right? Because for every time, he might be gay, you girls will reach at the graspiest of straws so you don't have to face to avoid hitting it. You're fat. For every one of those, it's about 1,000 times you gained weight and you got fat and he's no longer physically attracted. I mean, the lengths you guys will go to deny a simple solution because it hurts your fifis. And then it makes you have to face a choice. Wow, you mean I have this part-time job where I have to stay on the treadmill and stay physically attractive for my husband, and your husband has to do the same thing here, but we're not talking. Men are like, yeah, I need to lose weight. I'm kind of a fat pig, aren't I? You're beautiful and amazing the way you are. Like this is the closest any of these articles got to the inevitable and simply uncontrollable God struck you by lightning. There's nothing you can do, ladies. There's nothing you can do. It just happens. And it's narcissism. It's his fault for being programmed to like a tight ass. Oh man. And this is from, I don't know, an LMFT LPC. Got 250 episodes of a podcast. Lady, can you just say you got fat? Why can't you say that? If you really want to improve, I want my husband to have sex with me. Are you fat? Let's go through I'm overweight. Doctor, what do I do? Are you eating a lot? Are you going to McDonald's? Yes. Well, stop doing that. Sometimes it's like the common sense, obvious ones. Do you eat too much? Yes. Do you exercise? No. Well, let's start there. No, but what did they say? Low testosterone, his problem. No attraction, close, but no, his narcissism. It may cause a man to deeply feel disappointed in the normal and inevitable physical changes in his partner. It's his fault. You let yourself go. Performance anxiety, self-sufficient boredom, not you got fat. So that one's gone. Let's look at another way how we dance around the landmine. This is from Marriage Today by Ashley Willis. None of these, of course, are written by men. It'd be three-letter article. You got fat. It'd be the shortest, most and look at all this crap, all this pablum. I mean, you girls not only waste your time like, oh, I gotta go talk to a therapist. I don't gotta do this. Read these articles where you just got fat. Oh, okay. This is lengthy. Recently, I received a message from a wife who was desperately looking for some advice. She shared with me that her husband is a kind, loving, and wonderful man in every way, except he rarely ever wants sex with her. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with that person, not me over there? Oh, in fact, they have gone months at a time without making love, and the absence of intimacy and connection in their marriage is breaking her heart and making her resent her husband. Well, as long as the solution doesn't revolve around me, like putting forth time and effort in a part-time job, lifetime of staying in shape. I could feel her frustration and pain as I read her heartfelt message. In the end, she says, this is why, okay, you girls may not like this in general, but the smart, well, we just had one yesterday. The girls who contact me at Asshole Consulting, who are serious about finding men, I will ask them, send me a picture right off the bat. Not even dicking around or wasting anybody's time. You send me your pictures, normal pictures, body shot and face. Okay, you are in shape, or, the last one, she had baby face, which is not her problem. But she was in shape, nice young gal. I said, okay, you're not fat. Well, you got that one down. And the reason I go there is because I know, ladies, it's so not fair. Men, number one thing we care about is physical beauty. We also care about other things, but if you don't have physical beauty, then there's this new category that you could fall into called friends. See, we'll just be friends. Oh, I like you fine enough and everything. I might even love you, like a good person. But we're not, without the physical attraction, there's no love. Because people who like each other but don't have sex are called friends. You can be friends with guys, you can be friends with anybody. But I don't, what is it? 1, 2, 3 times, and then, oh, no, I'm kind of in the mood. Well, are you physically attracted? No. Hey, we're friends. Fist bump, bro. It's Oh, in the end, she asked me if I had any advice what she could do to address the issue with her husband. I wonder. It makes sexual intimacy an active part of their marriage once again. Sex is an important part of marriage, is it now? Well, how seriously are you willing to take it? And anytime one spouse is withholding it or seems uninterested in it, we should immediately address this crisis and do whatever we can to get help. Whatever we can, except hit the gym. The hard part, what's the hard part about this issue is that God, are we on a Christian site? God designed sex for both the husband and wife to be engaged in it physically, emotionally, and mentally. So when thou shalt not lie. Let's see if you add to this one, huh? You going to adhere to that 10 commandment? So when one spouse is disengaged, it brings sexual intimacy to a screeching halt. When you feel undesirable, unloved, and unfulfilled, you get frustrated and become prone to lashing out. After all, your husband is the one biblically legitimate avenue you have for sexual connection and satisfaction. So when he refuses to make love, it deeply stings on a physical animal. So what can you do? What can we do, Ashley Williams? Please tell me. First of all, you need to have a heart-to-heart conversation with your husband. Okay, not against this. But it must be in the most loving and honest way possible. When you haven't had sex in a long time, it's so easy to be edgy and snarky. But this kind of approach will only limit our conversation and possibly lead to a fight. When a husband refuses to have sex, there's an underlying problem of some kind. What could it be? Somebody called Sherlock Holmes over the Atlantic and get him on the case. Somebody get Columbo in here. Yeah, Mr. Johnson, just one more thing. So the aim of the conversation is to get him to open up as much as possible. Calmly ask him the hard questions and patiently wait for him to answer. A kind, understanding, and non-intimidating approach to this issue will go a long way in helping him do this. Second, you must prepare your mind and heart to hear some hard truth from your husband. Oh, are we going to say the F word here? There are a whole host of reasons why men disengage from sex with their wives, including, here is the list. Here's the list. Low testosterone, lowering his sex drive, his use of porn to meet his sexual needs, depression and anxiety depleting his sex drive, his wife's previous ongoing denial of sex leading to feelings of rejection and lower drive. Okay, maybe. Extreme exhaustion, zapping his energy for sex, maybe at work. His involvement in an emotional or sexual affair with someone else, and other circumstances. You lying bitch. You lying by omission. What is the thou shalt? Is that number 3? I mean, I know they're all important. Isn't that kind of an important one for some? You are such a hypocrite, Ashley Willis. Oh, we're Christians. We're going to tell the truth. This is very important. Low testosterone. He might be gay. Aliens abducted him and took away his sex drive, but it certainly isn't you being fat. Another one. Okay, the Atlantic. So but it's by Lori Gottlieb. This is Dear Therapist. So she's a therapist. Okay, so this is kind of like Dear Abby. Dear Therapist, my husband and I have been married for 30 years and have a mostly happy, friendly, supportive relationship. His interest in sexual relations declined after our children were born and came to a full stop 5 years ago. Well, that's a reason to go for divorce, frankly. I'm not sympathetic towards the women. I'm unlike all the other women in the world, apparently. I'm not lying to you. I actually want you to have progress. But as I said before, I know that women prefer lies over truth more than anything else. So this is, again, using this as an example to educate men, young men predominantly, but older men too, as to why being factual and literal with women generally, but particularly your wife or your girlfriend, doesn't work. Okay, so you understand this. I've asked him to go on therapy with me for multiple occasions the past 5 years. He considered it several times, but always declined, saying he just had no interest in a physical relationship. I've encouraged him to discuss the situation with a friend or his physician, but if he has to share the outcome with me. After several attempts at negotiation, he suggests to attend therapy. 5 years you've tortured yourself over this. I'm going to ask a question. Would all this energy and frustration, which must be horrible, the past 5 years you suffered, would all those calories of energy have been better expended hitting the gym? What would have had better results? You nagging and hoping and pleading that he goes to therapy? Or you just going to the gym and getting tight? Which one is it? After several attempts at negotiation and suggestions to attend therapy, I've resigned myself to the fact he has zero interest in sex, even less interest in talking about it. Our life has is much more peaceful if I don't bring it up. Right. Celibacy is not my choice, and I miss that portion of our relationship along with intimacy greatly. So I'm at a crossroads. End my celibate marriage, even though we are very good friends, parents, and partners. Seek a supplemental relationship or sacrifice my own sexuality. What's not missing? What's not? Anything but going into that bush in the desert, right? Am I right? Because you just don't want to do it. I get it. Your laziness is more powerful than your love for your husband, or I should say that, for your desire to have sex. There you go. That's it. That's what your actions tell me. I don't care what's going on in your head. I don't care what's going on in your mind. It is not powerful. You do not want sex enough to go to the gym. That's perfectly fine. Welcome to your life. And you know what? Speaking of saving calories of energy because laziness reigns supreme, why'd you even waste the calories of energy writing this thing, this article, or letter to the editor? Why don't you just sit and just eat more bonbons and do nothing? Now, here comes the answer from Lori Gottlieb. Dear Ruby, I'm sorry that you're dealing with such a difficult issue in your marriage, though you aren't alone in this. Sexual issues are common in marriages. You must feel extremely lonely. You may also feel rejected, angry, and helpless, especially because you seem to have no explanation. Just poof. The testosterone zapping fairy just came along, and then my husband couldn't get erections anymore. All these guys on Viagra and Cialis, I get a kick. I'm like, yeah, you put a hot, nice, in shape 25-year-old girl next to him. I wonder, the Lord, oh my God, the Lord came and he blessed my unit, and poof, it stood up and saluted again. First, because sex is such a sensitive topic for most people, will help, at least initially, to focus on the broader dynamic between you and your husband. You say you have a happy and supportive marriage, but imagine for a second that the impasse was about something else significant in a relationship. Are we going to say the F word? Tensions arising from, say, money, health, boundaries, addiction, or children. No. No. The topic is less important than the fact that you're saying that you're suffering greatly and that your husband won't discuss your concerns. Sex or no sex, that's a significant problem. My God, how long does this go? Given the broader issue, you can shift your approach from trying to change his behavior, whether he'll have sex, to trying to strengthen your marriage. My hunch is that despite the positive aspects of your marriage, you could just say you got fat. Why are we going through all this pablum? You're suffering both deeply in different ways. You, of course, are feeling grossly neglected. Your husband, meanwhile, is probably struggling with some kind of painful humiliation that he can't bring himself to deal with. You got fat, F-A-T, you got fat. How about that? You are fat. Go to bat at the gym. You are fat. There are many factors. Oh, are we going to list the fact? Are we going to list the F factor that might be affecting his sex drive? Please tell us, Lori. An undiagnosed medical condition. Do you women go to the doctor to get your arms stretched so you can grasp at further straws? The side effect of a medication, a hormonal imbalance, stress, depression, low self-esteem, trauma, or even problems in your marriage that he hasn't brought up. I wonder what those could be. Subtypes 2 is specific change lessons desire, like an emotional issue related to pregnancy or parenthood. There are also causes of sexless marriages that have nothing to do with sex drive. Having a porn addiction, secretly preferring a partner of another gender, having an affair but not wanting to leave the marriage. Anything but that bush in the desert, huh, ladies? Do you guys, like I said, this is for the guys. Do you guys see just how powerful the desire not to suffer any kind of emotional distress or face the hard fact that you have to put forth future toil and effort into the world to have what you want? Do you see how powerful a force this is? Well, I've gone through 3 articles now. The 4th one, which I can't find. I'm sure if we find 5, 6, and 7, it'll all be pros. You know, ladies with their actual, it's not going to be men. Ladies with actual certifications and doctorates in whatever fields, they will not tell the women the truth because they themselves know women don't want to. They will go to the most Herculean, and in the process, to show you how much more powerful lies are than truth, they will ruin what remains of these poor women's lives. They're not going to solve the problem, and worse, they're going to they haven't diagnosed the problem. They haven't diagnosed the problem correctly. And so whatever their recommendations is, or they're going to subscribe whatever drug or treatment, is not going to work. They really don't care about solving the problem. They just want to treat it and make the pain go away. And that is what they're delivering. And you're looking, and this is why this is point number 2, the ulterior motive of this video, is to show you guys this, to use this as an example. Like here's a case study as to the extents people go to lie to themselves when it's something as critical and important as their sexual and their love life. I don't know what's more important than that. Maybe your finances, maybe your ego investment in a career that you've spent like 20 years on, maybe. But your love life and your sex, they will lie about love. And the women will eat it up. And it's like, you're lying. That's not going to work. I need to be serious. I need to critically assess. Nope. Okay, he might be gay. Husband, I know you don't like me attractive anymore because you're gay. I'm here to support you. Oh, you want to hug a Luke Skywalker. Anything but the truth, right? Anything but work. Whatever the reason, your husband is probably carrying a heavy burden. Yeah, emphasis on heavy. And in his own way, he probably feels alone in his pain as you do. It's less likely that your husband has no interest in sex, at least in theory. More like he has no interest in opening what to him might feel like a Pandora's box. So back to the broader issue, which is, but rather, goobity. What's Lori Gottlieb, contributing writer, psychotherapist? Yeah, you guys really cured all the mental illnesses of the world, didn't you? Another reason you don't listen to anyone in the psychology profession. Was she truthful? Huh? Could you imagine how they bill out by the hour now? They just dance around that. But well, going right to the bush would take 5 minutes, like we do at ASO Consulting, and be like $35. But if we dance around the bush and we'll never solve the problem. You keep coming back, and it's a 5-hour walk around the bush. Let's walk around the bush. Let's go for a walk, shan't we? That'll be the next title of my next book, where I take down the psychology industry. The Walk Around the Bush. Be a small bush, big circle. Anyway, so there you go. I'm sorry, ladies, that the world lies to you, and I'm sorry you believe the lies. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry that you suffer this. But the answer, for the most part, is you got fat. Okay, I'm going to go through the futile exercise of answering the question that all these professionals, and with literally pages of words, failed to answer, and just would lead you astray and not solve your problem and cause you more frustration and anger. You got fat. And since you let yourself go, your husband not only doesn't physically want to have sex with you anymore because you're fat, you are no longer pretty, you're no longer beautiful. All right. He also probably feels betrayed because he's like, wow, she got fat on me. Now he's in a very interesting position. Like, well, I got needs. So what, is he going to jerk off to porn? Is he going to go find himself a mistress on the side or whatever? But it's kind of the betrayal. Like, all you had one job. You had one job. Stay in shape. No. And so I don't know what's a bigger investment than your wife, for a guy anyway. And or maybe your kids. But now that the kids are, maybe all that, it's like, okay, well, fine. And so what? He's not going to go back. He's not going to go back and find another guy. That's a pain in the ass. I wonder why I'm so down. So if you want the solution, lose the weight. You can also spice things up with, wearing sexy hair. You know what they want. I know you know what they want. It's not a secret. You all know what strip clubs look like. You all know what hot young women look like. Go do that. And if you don't want to, file divorce papers and end it. Be merciful. But the more important lesson, I've talked about it. Do you guys see? Do you see now? You see? You need. Now, I will once again bring up this book, The Fook Files by Rhinestone. And I came at it from an economics perspective. I called it the last and final luxury good of America, or capitalism, you could say. And that is after we've all got our material wants and needs and desires satisfied. The next step beyond self-actualization is to live the lie, right? Ryan basically said women want their cake and eat it too. I'd argue humans in general, in this case, we're talking about when he was talking about in the context of it, but they want to have their cake and eat it too, right? And that is what I have determined why we could scream all day the F word, F-A-T, you're fat. It's not going to work because at the end of the day, the last and final luxury good, living the lie, having their cake and eating it too, is what humans want more than actual reality. They want to transcend reality and go live in a delusional matrix world where the world lies to them and tells them what they want to hear, that they are superhuman. They are beyond the regular requirements and desires and realities and the anchorings and the tetherings to the real world. Like, for example, if I want to get a guy, I got to stay in shape and be hot. They don't want it. Oh, am I wrong? Have you seen anything as crazy as the Lizzie gal or the fat gal now who's on the Calvin Klein ad or whatever? Do you see it? They're willing to live in a lie. And they're going to choose that over reality nearly every single time. Nearly every single time. And the matrix, if you want to call it that, be it the Atlantic or Your Tango or Team Woman or whoever, even the professionals who, first, isn't there a Socratic oath you got to take? Don't hurt the patient. Well, they obviously violated that. They lied to you girls. But anyway, the system, the industry, the psychology industry, but certainly the fashion and media, they'll create your matrix for you to live in. As long as you click, as long as you give them money, as long as you click on those ads, as long as you share it with the sisterhood, just bring in the money. Oprah is go back again. Oprah made money telling women they could have their cake and eat it too, living the lie. Look what they paid her, what they still pay her today. Sheryl Sandberg, her book, the Lean In book. Hey, you can have it all. No, you can't. There's 24 hours in a day. Some of which you got to spend sleeping. Some of which you got to spend pooing and eating so that you can poo again. Maybe if you give up eating, you won't have to poo, huh? Shave off 15 minutes there so you can go plug yourself into the matrix and pay taxes. And you can have no, you can't. You objectively can't be, what is the triple threat? Be an executive, be a mom, and be a wife, and then be, a leader on a nonprofit or some kind of hobby extracurricular. No, you can choose like two of them. You could do them. That's how much time there is in the day because kids take time. Didn't know if you knew that. Oh no, that is not what they want to hear. And if you come in and point that out, forget that's a difference of opinion. No, you are accused of all sorts of is and ism and hating women. Even if you're trying to you're going to be miserable trying to do all four of these things poorly. And so the more important point of this video, and Dre, I hope you got your money's worth, is for any true philosopher, any empiricist, anybody who's brave and courageous enough to actually acknowledge reality and point out the emperor has no clothes, to realize just how addicted to lies people are. In this particular case, women. All right. And what I want you to do is look at how much effort, not only what they want to lie in here, what happens in their mind, but look at to what extents the real world will go to indulge these people in lies. And not for free, right? They will get money out of these people selling them lies. I'll give you an example for guys. Oh yeah, owning a sports car is going to get you the girls. No, it's going to put you in poverty, dude. You have a very nice car and a really crappy apartment and stress, right? But people want to believe it. They want to believe it. And by gosh, what was it? P.T. Barnum, there's a sucker born every minute. Here, that's the lesson to learn. You're not going to get women to ever believe, let alone commit to being thin, that's the important thing for men. The concept of what men want is it's even taken off the table. Who cares what man? I am the table, that sort of thing. All right. But so for your own sake, stop trying to advocate truth or reality to people if they're going to consciously go and plug themselves into the matrix. The second thing, the consequence, or what do they call it in logic or when you do philosophical theorems with the the byproduct or the axiom or whatever, the consequence of that then to you should be, all right, how do I profit off of them? If they're going to be sheep, if they're going to be cattle, how do I profit off of them? How do I get me some of that Oprah money? Because mark my words, ladies and gentlemen, unless the United States economy fails, this is the new future. This is the booming industry. This is the .coms like in 1996 before the bubble even occurred. And if you can learn to lie and just tell people what they want, you will make tons of money. And not only will you make tons of money, they will celebrate you. I'm guarantee who is the Lori Gottlieb. Look her up. I bet you she's brave and amazing, and all the women love. Well, she got a gig over at the Atlantic. I'm sure people love. I mean, look at the comments. Applause. Oh, brave and amazing. All right. Let's go to the super chats. Ice Nose for $5. All money today. All donations will go to my gas tank fund so I could drive way the heck out west. Ice Nose for $5. I read Sanity is the future of wealth. I love dedication to Chad and Anthem. Please keep being brave and amazing and think of me your next poop. Yes, thank you. Today the money goes to the gas fund. But starting tomorrow we will redistribute the money to the septic tank fund. So Sanity is the future of wealth. That's available on paperback and Kindle. And we even talk about it's very germane to the topic we're talking about today. You think these women are sane? 5 years, no sex. You think she's sane? You think she's not suffering from mental illness because she wanted to believe the lie? And that essay, which you can find on paperback and Kindle, isn't Resurrecting Man for $5. And then Moses revealed the 11th commandment: wives, thou shalt not get fat on my husband. All Abrahamic religions saved. Judd Grover. Let me get. Maybe I'm going to have to do. Good. Okay. We're not going to lose any super chats here. Judd Grover for $2. Fat, smells like cats, nose ring, Karen haircut. Yeah, I know. I saw this starting 10 years ago. All the boomer women, like, bam, the second hit the menopause, they cut their hair. It's just so much easier. It's like, just divorce your husband. I mean, honestly. Like, do you love your husband anymore? You do? Really? You love your husband? Why do you stay beautiful for him? I don't know why men die earlier. Why? Because you give up the ghost and you make yourself look like a guy. I'm married to my other husband. Well, she was a gal at one time. Then she cut her hair short and never done it up. And now she just, wears pants. Judd Grover again for $2. At this point, America is a chubby chaser's paradise. Yeah. Talk to Sterling Cooper. He's all right with that. And that's it. There you go. All right. There you go, Dre. And I hope we all learned a philosophical lesson. I hope we all, at least those of us who are trying to point out the emperor has no clothes, we don't drive ourselves insane. That's it. All right. See you guys later.